So the rundown today, I'm going to go through about 4 or 5 slides. We're going to talk about some of the trends we're seeing with stablecoins. So there's 2 key metrics we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, as a business, as a brokerage, how do you actually get the benefits and kind of take advantage of the trends we're seeing. And then we're actually going to see the product, and I'll do a live demo. So first one is the average monthly stablecoin supply. This is actually publicly available. Dan's here from Visa. Might have to put you in the credits here. But it's available online. In July, stablecoins hit a record of 150 billion in circulation. And each of the last 10 months, there's actually been an uptick. So you can see it's quite dominated by just a couple stablecoins, Tether and USDC. But I think it was announced on Monday, PayPal stablecoin PYUSD actually hit $1 billion in market cap. So you'll see some dispersion, I think, over time. But the key point here is there's a lot of stablecoins in circulation. The second metric, transaction volume, Edward hit on this. So stablecoins recently surpassed PayPal in terms of actual transaction volume. It's currently extremely close to Visa, and then kind of nearing, eclipsing the 2 major US networks, which is the ACH network and the Fedwire network. And I think you can attribute this to a few things. There's very fast settlement speeds on blockchains. There are layer 2 networks that can confirm transactions in less than a second, which is quite powerful. And then the layer 1 networks like Ethereum, the slow blockchains actually confirm transactions in 10 seconds. So it's still very, very quick, and it's borderless, constantly available 24/7, 365. People are finding a lot of utility with this form of payment. So we've proven that stablecoins are increasing in utility. They're seeing a lot of growth. How do businesses such as brokerages actually take advantage of that? We use the term network of networks a lot to describe this, and I'll try to explain what that means. There's 5 pretty prominent fintech brands here, all of which allow customers to on-ramp into USDC. So automatically, those users can obtain a compatible token if the brokerage were to allow for stablecoin funding to access the broader blockchain network. So stablecoins are a network within a broader network. So that's really important. Here's the actual product, the fund with stablecoins. There's 4 key things I want to talk about. The one in the top left, probably as a product person, I'm biased. This is my favorite selling point. It's a very easy integration. It's not something that's going to take a ton of development resources. It's a pre-built SDK UI that Zero Hash allows platforms to embed into their experience. So it's a very quick integration. It's operationally extremely easy. As a brokerage, you just kind of sit back and receive a daily settlement wire in fiat. There's no withdrawal requests. All you're doing is letting Zero Hash kind of do the work for you. Thirdly, we're very proud of our global regulatory coverage. We're travel rule compliant in each jurisdiction, and we never let any deposit to come in that's originating from a tainted or OFAC sanctioned address, and that's something we take very seriously. And then lastly, some of our partners, I think it's just worth talking about some of the groups that we currently support: Stripe, Interactive Brokers, Tasty, IG, and Franklin Templeton. They all have high standards across the board, especially on the technical side of things, and have strict SLAs that we've allowed ourselves to become battle tested through. Last slide here, just to show the flow of funds. I think it's important just to note, taking the end customer who has USDC from an external wallet like MetaMask or Coinbase that is sent to a Zero Hash controlled address in the end customer's name. There's an automatic conversion to fiat, and then once a day there's a batch settlement to the brokerage. And the key point is the brokerage will never touch crypto. There's no balance sheet recognition of this asset. It's all kind of taken, that responsibility is taken on by Zero Hash. This is a sample brokerage platform. As you can see, I have no money in the top right. I have no buying power here. And I'm going to attempt to bring assets onto the platform. So I'll head to the deposit section. I think another example, Edward talked about the scenarios that this might actually be, stablecoins might be a good idea to use as a funding mechanism. If it's after hours trading in the US and Tesla announces earnings and they hit or they underperform, and it's off hours here in Europe or somewhere else, you can use stablecoins to instantly get money onto the platform to capitalize on a market move in either direction. So you see some of the usual suspects. You have cards, bank transfers, alternative wallets like Revolut or something. And then here we have our new stablecoin option. So at that point is when the zero hash technology takes over. This is completely controlled by zero hash. This is the SDK. And you're originally presented with instructions on how the product works. So as a user, I am kind of prepped with how this is going to operate. Click continue. Select the stablecoin. We support all of the major stablecoins. For this demo, I'm going to select USDC. I'm going to choose Ethereum as the network. I think Tariq mentioned the concept of an invoice. There is no creation of an invoice here. You just kind of send the amount that you want. So there's no possibility of the edge cases that were mentioned. The receiving address, that's where I'm actually going to send the money to. So if I wanted to, I could take my phone, I could scan the QR code and send money from a wallet. For this example, I'm just going to use my desktop Coinbase app. So I have a balance. I'm going to transfer some of it. Again, choosing Ethereum. I'm going to send 1,500 to that address. On chain, there's a small network fee. And then at this point, zero hash is listening for an on-chain transaction to that address, and in a couple seconds, it should confirm. There we go. The receipt is shown so the user can see the block explorer if they wanted to, and all of the other relevant data points. So I'm going to close it, and then in the top right, I have buying power, and then I'm free to trade or do whatever the app can support. There's also, just last thing I'll highlight, there's REST endpoints that the brokerage can pull in order to show transaction history, and you can kind of commingle that with the existing other funding methods that exist. That's all I got. Thank you very much for attending.